Ms. Achal Khanna. Ms. Achal Khanna is the CEO for SHRM India and the Asia Pacific Head for Business Development. SHRM India is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Society for Human Resource Management, which is the world's largest association devoted to human resource management with more than 290,000 members worldwide. She is responsible for leading the India's operations of SHRM as well as Asia Pacific operations, including Middle East. She serves on the global SHRM leadership team and is responsible for building the brand, expanding its business, and developing professional relationships with government agencies and other HR and business associations in the region. Ma'am has over 30 years of experience. Prior to joining SHRM, she was Managing Director for Kelly India Operations, Vice President for GE, and Country Manager for Polaroid India. She has also worked with DuPont, ITC, and Cosmo Group in various capacities. She is a recipient of the Best Woman Executive in India award. Ms. Achal holds a bachelor degree in economics, a master's degree in English literature, and she is an MBA from Delhi. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us for this webinar. It is a pleasure to have you with us. Kindly take it.
Thank you. Good morning for inviting me. It is my immense pleasure to be here today. And my congratulations to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University for organizing this great event on such a relevant topic of inclusive growth of PwD in social and professional arena during COVID-19 pandemic. And I would welcome the chief guests and guest of honors and specifically students here who are really very, very close to my heart. I am an all-time student because I say if you want to stay relevant, always be student because student is an avid learner. Student has the highest amount of energy and students don't believe in any politics. They fight and they move on. So if you want to be relevant, stay student for all your life. This is my short message to all of you. Well, you have given an elaborate introduction. I am Achal Khanna. I look after Society of Human Resource Management Operation in India, MENA, as well as Asia Pacific. Society of Human Resource Management is the largest HR association headquartered in Alexandria, US. We have 310,000 members in 165 countries. Through the we influence 116 billion people. And the main motto of existence is to influence the work, the worker, the workplace, and build a better workplace tomorrow. SHRM being the voice of all things work, especially focused on being true inclusivity at workplace and has kept inclusion as a key focus area, and we work with governments and organizations to bring systematic change and build equal opportunity at workplaces. When we talk about equal opportunities in the workplace, we are not talking about keeping a score. We are not talking about creating some sort of calculation where if we hire X number of this group, we need X number of that one. It is not just a tick box. Too often, that is how diversity and inclusive programs have operated as a mere balancing act. Okay, it is a tick box. So many ladies need to be hired. So many people with disability need to hired. No, that is not what true inclusion is. COVID or not COVID, better workplaces are with inclusive people. So it is not a balancing act, but too often that is how diversity and inclusive programs have operated in as a balancing act. And I will argue that is a terrible way of doing business and running your organizations. Diversity will never work if we focus on differences. Instead, we need to focus on inclusion and strength. Inclusion means valuing people for what they bring to the workplaces, COVID or no COVID. It is about ensuring that everyone, regardless of those differences, has a chance to show what they bring on table, what strengths they bring on table, and what they can do better together as one team. Inclusion is more than accepting differences. Truly inclusive cultures leverage differences strategically for growth, innovation, and more engagement. There is a place for talented people no matter what package they come in. And there is no place for biases, conscious or unconscious. Unconscious biases create toxicity in a work culture. So please, I would urge, there is no place for biases, whether you are in school, whether you are in college, whether you are in workplace, conscious or unconscious. And I'll give you an example of an unconscious bias. We would, I would just generally say, oh, and I mean, if there are Bengalis here or there are Sardars here, it is a general thing. Oh, Sardarjis, they all need tanga, murge ki tanga. No, that's not true. They eat vegetarian food and they enjoy vegetarian food. Oh, Bengalis are lazy people. They don't want to work. Biharis are lazy people. No, they are best of the intellectuals, Nobel laureates, which come from that part of the globe. These are unconscious biases in our mind, and we need to be thoughtful about those unconscious biases, because these unconscious biases really create very toxic culture, as I said, in school, in colleges, and they don't go away because it is in our mind, it is embedded in our mind. Think of it this way: who employers hire is who they are, and who they are is the sum of their people. People is their key strength. Inclusion is their key strength, not the biases. So, what does that say about those who eagerly hire people with disabilities, without biases, people from disadvantaged backgrounds, and workers over 50? Workers over 50 these days have a lot of energy. You know, you can't say, oh, ye to buddha ho gaya. These days, when the life expectancy has gone up, we need people who have lot of experience, because there is no substitute for experience. It says these people who hire people with disabilities, diversities, disadvantaged backgrounds, and people over 50, it says they will win the future of talent. Companies that lead with inclusion and discard hiring biases are creating winning cultures that drive productivity, innovation, and loyalty. It is not we should focus on disability people or diverse people only during COVID pandemic. My on humble request to each one of you, let's begin it from this day, this moment. Okay, work with them, walk with them, and make them part of your team. They also elevate workplaces to become spaces where employers and employees thrive together, and those positive experiences flow out into the larger world and have an impact on the society. With this inclusion and accepting diversity, society, workplaces are better, happier world. That is how we create better workplaces and better world. A significant portion of India's untapped workforce is the pool of people with disabilities. We cannot ignore that. I have seen estimates that excluding this segment of the workforce cost India 5 to 7% of its GDP. Now, if you think you fully understand the issue around disability at work, I will challenge you right now. Disability is complex, covering a rainbow of conditions and situations. The barriers are not just physical, there are people with hidden disabilities throughout our workplaces right now, and likely even in this room. If I have a bad thought in my mind, and if I'm a bad worker, I might look physically absolutely fit, but if I don't work together as a team, I am a negative person. I am more disabled than a person with disability. Millions more are waiting outside our workplaces, like with mental disability. They don't want to be part of the team. They are always thinking, they are selfish, they are always thinking about themselves. These people are more disabled than a person with physical disability. What a waste of key talent we need now. Let me challenge some other misconceptions we hear about hiring people with disability. No, they are not. They are not our charity cases. They are not looking for our sympathy. They are not grateful to us for our help. They are not superheroes overcoming obstacles in single bound. They do not need extra help from others to do their job. They are confident people. They can do job better than any one of us who is fit and fine. They are not costly to employ. And yes, they can become leaders, change makers, and innovators in any organization, in any school, in any university. The workplaces has never been better for people with disabilities. Today's high-tech jobs are more suited than ever for accommodating people with physical limitation. Specifically in this COVID crisis, I would mention that technology people are hiring people, and you're all working from home, and they can do this job much better. And there is a research which SHRM has done, and I would be more than happy to share that research, that people with Down syndrome, certain type of jobs, they can do much better than any other person. And in turn, technology is providing the assistance and support they need to succeed. In this time and age, when technology is on your fingertips, there is no challenge in supporting people with disability. And I want to remind that in your workplaces right now, are people performing with invisible disabilities, which is all the time, which is what I said. I can be mentally sick, I can be a selfish person. So I am a disabled person, but I'm not visible, because visibly I look very fit, I'm healthy, and I'm joking and I'm talking, but I have a devious mind. And that devious mind is more dangerous than person with physical disability. Like mental health challenges, chronic pain, and other medical issues that have no outward signs. And let's not forget that many individuals who bring different sort of challenges at work. There are different kind of people who bring different challenges, but they are physically fit. We don't call them disabled. A huge number of workers face private, personal difficulties they must overcome to be successful in their job. All of these people need to be supported and included equally. And it is HRs and great universities like IPs, it is their role and profound responsibility to teach the right thing. Inclusion and diversity need to be taught right from the school, right from the university. They should empower each one of them, each one of us, to be at our best. It is time we put our biases aside and put this talent to work, help them, support them, guide them. And I would say they don't need any sympathy. They need to walk with dignity at our workplaces, in our schools, in our colleges. People with disability want to work with pride. They are able to work and they don't make mistake. They are more conscientious than any one of us. They can bring fresh innovation and perspective to any school, any college, and any organization. So I would end here and I would be more than happy to answer any questions. And I would say a quote that a flock of birds can reach a destination much faster than bird alone. So my request to each one of you is, please, let's work as a flock of bird, bring everybody together, and you will reach your goal and destination much faster than you alone. And Lord Buddha has also said, a candle, one candle can light thousands of candles, but the life expectancy of that one candle, which lights thousand candles, does not go down. Similarly, happiness and knowledge of an individual which distributes happiness and knowledge to other, his or her happiness and knowledge never goes down, rather it increases. That is the beauty. So my humble request to each one of you, students who are learning, people, chief guests, everybody, is please spread happiness, please be acknowledge inclusion, don't have unconscious biases, spread happiness and spread knowledge, and be happy. Would be happy to answer as many questions as you would have. And I stop here. I hope I'm on time.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a delight listening to your enlightening thoughts. And as ma'am has rightly said, if we have some questions, please put on your questions to her. And others, please mute yourself.
A very pleasant morning to one and all present here. Ma'am, I have a question to ask.
Yes. Can you speak a little louder?
Sure, ma'am. As the productivity of every person is linked to mental and emotional health, how do institutions or the organizations overcome the challenges at workplace after giving employment to specially able people?
You know, I have seen there is a research that some of the specially abled or differently abled people, they do job much better than a normal person like you. Means, and also, you know, means it is in our mind. We have accepted this normal work from home. This is abnormal, but we have accepted it. So if a person is, I would say, deaf and dumb, that is normal for him. Maybe abnormal. We are abnormal for him. So when we hire these people, we need to hire them for their skills. And I can assure you, they do much better job than any one of us. Is that your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering.